Okay, it's Mr. Lagarde, and again, we're going to do another Gcode activity. And you're going to love this one because it is so easy. I'm almost embarrassed to have you do it, but we're going to try it. So, remember in the first lesson, I was talking about the difference between absolute, which is G90, where you go from the Cartesian coordinates point. So, in this case, x1, y1 to x1, y4. And that's absolute. The other one is called incremental. And in this one, here's our example. We would get to the first one, and then we would only tell it the change in our position. So if we start at the position 2 comma 1, to get to 2 comma 4, we just have to tell it that it is a change in 3 units. Now don't tell anyone, but Mr. Lagarde for some reason has written 4 units, and that's actually a 3. Okay, so to go from this point to this point, the x value would be 0 and the y value would be 3. Now to go from this point, which is 2 comma 4, to this point, 3.25 comma 1, it would be a change in the x direction of 1.25 and a change in the y of minus 3 units. Seems easy, right? Okay, so this is the drawing that we're going to go through, and it is really exciting because it is Mr. Lagarde's rather lame looking, it's the wash your hands symbol. So that's supposed to be a faucet, a little drop of water, and a goofy looking hand. So again, we would start at the point 0 comma 0. I won't make the machine noises again because you were making fun of me. But we want to lift it up. So we would do the G91 saying it's incremental. We would say G00, which is rapid motion. And then we would say X0, Y0, Z1, which lifts it into its starting position. And then we would say G01, which is normal motion. And then to get to this point up here, all we would need to do is tell it the change in x and y. So the code to get to here, to the point of 0.75 comma 4.5, then our x would only be 0.75 and then up 4.5, which would get you to there. And then we would turn the spindle on, M03, turn the spindle on, and then we would move the z-axis, because we're at 1 still, and we'd move in the z-axis a minus 1.05, which would go past the 0 point and start cutting. So then we're ready to cut. And then all we have to do is start telling it about our changes. So here we would say, well, change x plus 4, so our code would simply be x4, and then y minus 1, and then y or x minus 0.75, and then y 0.25, and then this one would be x minus 3.25, and then this last one would be y 0.75. So that's cut out that whole shape. Again, we would lift it up, and then we would move to our next point, which is at the top of the hand. And so we would say we're here, we want to move in an x direction of 0.25, and then we're going to go down in the y direction of 1.5. And then move our tool down to cut again. So minus z minus 1.05. And then here we go, we're going to start cutting this one. So cut out the hand would be minus 2.75, then y 3.5, sorry, x 3.5, y in a positive direction 0.5, and then I'll just put the code on for the rest of this to this point. Okay, so to cut the last part, which is the water droplet, we want to get to this point right here from here. So we need to know what our x value is. First, of course, we need to lift up the y. So lift up z in 1.05. And then we're going to go x3, y minus 0.25. Bring the tool down to cut again, and that's a z minus 1.05. And then we're going to cut the upside down v, so x 0.25, y 0.5, x 0.25, y minus 0.5, and then we've got to cut this circle again, and it's going to be G03, and then we have to tell it the change in the position of the endpoint. So x minus 0.5 and y 0, and then we have to describe the center point. So I minus 0.25, j 0. Lift up the tool, bring it back to the start, and we're done. So a lot simpler this way. Now your job is going to be to make the peace sign. So step one is to figure out the coordinates and then make your code.